I'm just going to fetch one of my other guests here, and sorry for all the confusion. I wasn't tracking what was going on so well, but
it's no problem.
We're here now.
Good, yeah, good. It's all good.
Yeah, so we'll be standing by. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, I put them on mute. Okay, good morning and good afternoon. This, excuse me, is going to be a pretty informational conference today. We're going to be talking about happenings in the Ukraine, and we are joined with the high school from Sisler High School from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and Dale Valley High School in Dale Valley, Texas, and the Lyceum in Kiev. So we'll go ahead with Kiev. If you could introduce yourself first, and then we'll go from there. Kiev, go ahead. Okay, if you could introduce your high school first, Kiev, go ahead.
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Anastasia and I'm from Kiev. And I guess you want to know everything about the situation in Ukraine and our attitude to it. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Okay. So the biggest problem of our country is that every day we are not sure about our future next day. Every evening we watch news, we don't know what to do. And periodically, personally, I feel fear because every day situation changes. For example, one day DNS belongs to our army, and the next day it belongs to terrorists, and it's really very bad.
Well, hello there. My name is Lina Pushkova, and I'm from Donetsk. Well, everything I could say that the situation that was happening when I was in my city and the situation that is happening now, everything I could say it is horrible. And as a witness of all these, well, yes, all these events, well, I even can't say that it wasn't even horribly because every day when I came out from my flat, I realized that I can't say anything in Ukrainian because a stranger or some man could take my hand and then ask my opinion about this situation. So, for example, this one happened to my friend, and she was quite petrified. And well, it's it.
Okay, so I can say that our country is being destroyed every day, day by day, and it's really horrible when you feel this pain of your country. For example, the last Independence Day was the most deliberate and the most tragic day of all that we had. We have known that we are the nation, and we can do everything ourselves without help of any other country.
Well, I think as a majority of people who were influenced by all the consequences of this situation, and I think it would be better to say this war, well, people are tired. They, yes, they want to protect themselves and their country, but they haven't got any opportunity to do this because the government, I don't know, it can't help us or it just doesn't want to. And, well, people are exhausted. Well, the country is exhausted, and it is really frightening.
Yes, and what is funny, but it's true that this situation has one advantage, that we have understood that we have to fight for our place in international community, and no one will do it for us. And this is hard to do with a state without professional army guidance and with corruption instead. And when I hear that European Union has expressed the highest level of disquietude, I just laugh because it's really not good for our country. Because every day hundreds of people are being killed and hurted, and European Union just say that they are disquietude. That's not true.
Well, I'm absolutely agree with my friend because yes, I'm absolutely agree with my friend because even though the situation is terrible, but now we realize our nationality. We feel ourselves, and yes, it's very good because we know that we're Ukrainians. We have our own language, our own history and culture, and this is, I think, the only advantage that we have today.
But finally, we all hope that everything will be good soon.
And yes, it is, yes, of course, but I don't know what will happen to my own city because have you seen those news that, well, for example, today, every day people are killed, and it's horrible because I don't know if I will return. Yes, if I return to my home, to my flat, and if it is still fine, well, I hope that maybe in 2 months, or maybe 3 or more, I will see my friends that are now there.
Have you got some questions?
Yes, Jacob has a couple questions, but before we go to some questions, we have our visitors from Sisler High School. Andrew, could you introduce, I believe maybe you have some people that you can introduce, and then tell us a little bit about Sisler and your Ukrainian backgrounds?
Good morning. Thank you for presenting. It's a real pleasure to be with you guys this morning. My name's Andrew Crawford. I'm a high school teacher here at Sisler High. This morning we have a few more students coming to observe. We have Carmen and Braden. And a couple of our teachers and our principal, Mr. Heshka, has actually come to see. We're a fairly big high school. We're the biggest one in our province. We have almost 2,000 students in our school, and so that may be big by your comparisons or not, I'm not sure. And so basically the way we got into this video conferencing stuff is we tend to have monthly public debates with Mr. Cunningham's students in Delva High School. So we're a little bit new to this, but it's very enjoyable to do, and we're excited to take in the presentations, and we really welcome the Ukrainian school for doing this morning. Well, for this afternoon for you, but this morning.
In the prairie provinces of Canada, are there not a lot of Ukrainian nationalities there?
Yeah, I was actually going to refer to my colleagues there, Ms. Patricia, and she might be able to speak to that a little more with more knowledge about it. So, Ms. Patricia, if you want to.
Okay, hello everyone from Canada, from Winnipeg. My name is Orisha Patrician, a teacher at Sisler High School, and I would like to welcome Kiev, and I have here Vitaimo.
Hi, thank you.
And just to let you know, we are with you, so be strong. And again, we are supporting you here in Canada, and we do everything possible to make our country peaceful. So.
Okay, thanks. And there are other students that want to express their opinion.
Thank you for your attention one more time.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Hi.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. So, there's 3 of us, and my name is Asha.
Bogdana.
Masha.
Bogdana and Masha.
And Bogdana would like to start.
Well, as you know, the topic of our conversation is war in Ukraine and war at all. So it's not a secret for everybody that war is a terrible thing, and which really transforms our attitude, our mind's behavior, and the attitude to death and other catastrophes. And on the first levels of the war, every little death compels us to fall deep into sorrow, but when there is more and more deaths, it becomes like a part of our daily routine, and it's really the most thrilling thing about war. And I've never thought before that a war that I can be like born during war. So now keep up the ball.
Yeah, so they were probably said a lot of things from girls that were previous, and the one thing that I would like to say is that the worst thing about war nowadays in Ukraine is that it separates the family and it basically split you from your relatives. So when you are fighting for Ukraine, your family and part of your family is fighting for Putin and Russia. When they call Russians and Russian soldiers our boys, and yeah, this is basically really depressing, but it shows you who those people are, and you just look from the different side at your parents, at your relatives, at your friends, and sometimes it's depressing, but that makes you strong at the same time.
And I would like to say that we have a really strange situation in Ukraine nowadays, because while some soldiers, some guys, really young guys, are dying in the west, in the east of Ukraine, we study, we watch TV, we just keep living, and that's all. This is the most, I think, really strange thing, because we didn't know how to act. So we still didn't have any person who would tell us, maybe a politician, who would tell us that, hey guys, there is a war, and you should be strong, and you should understand that there is a death, and there is a big tragedy here in our country. We still we're not told about that, and this is the big problem, because we don't know how to act. Because next year I should enter the university or the institute, and I don't know what the situation will be like. So there is no no advice from our government in this way.
One of the saddest thing, in addition to the words we've said already, is that things you were reading about in the history books is going on right now in your country with your people and people of your age. So there are a lot of youngsters who fight for us, being here and sitting here and talking to you and telling you about the situation. This is still happening, like not in the reality, but somewhere where I've never been before, but I was. So yeah, this is a little bit unbelievable. And the one thing about our politicians is that they are trying to use the situation in our country for their own interests, like to use this to agitate people to vote for them.
We will have a quotation or something like that. That for somebody this is the word, and for somebody this is his mother, something like that.
And for somebody, this situation is money.
Yeah, and the next point I want to emphasize is this information which Russia spread all over the world. Well, the people who live in Russia, they even don't imagine. They don't imagine what is going on really. They are told that yes, that Ukrainian people, they are doing something like I even can't explain like a pressure on Russian people who talks Russia and who speaks Russian, and it's really a huge problem because the Russian people, they even don't know what is the reason of this war, and they strongly believe in that philosophy that Putin created. And our task is to break down these stereotypes. Mm.
So, and now, if you have some questions, you would like to answer.
Yes, I have a question here from Del Valle High School. My name is Jacob, and I'm a senior here. My first question is, I just wanted to know, talking about the day-to-day struggles that you have to face every day, do you think it would be more beneficial if you had help from the United States or from Canada?
Yes. Like, of course, there can be some cons and disadvantages of getting this help, because this might start the third war. But we don't know if Ukraine can fight for herself without any
Because
help.
Ukraine can fight. And that's why we're trying to have peace with Russia. That's why our politicians still trying to have peace with Russia and to find something that can stop war. Because we didn't have enough army, and we totally understand that. Canada or USA or some European countries, they won't help us and they won't fight for us. And in the same time, we cannot fight for us also, because we don't have enough army, we don't have enough people, and we don't have such good preparation.
You know what, even if we have people, every day people are dying, and the number of people in our army and the number of people who live in Ukraine is not endless. And there are more and more deaths every day.
Yeah, we have a question actually from Sisler High School. If you might go ahead.
My name is Carmen. I'm from Sisler High School. And I was wondering, with your country in turmoil, and you guys believing your politicians have abandoned you, and your military being like very small, do you guys think that war and interference from Canada and US is the best way to solve this problem? Because as we know, words are sometimes more stronger than actions, right?
Like, what do you mean? Do you think that connection with Russia would be a better solution instead of war?
Yes.
Well, it would reduce the amounts of deaths.
I'm just trying to understand and realize what you're talking about. Like,
what I mean to say is, do you guys not think it would be better if everyone tried to solve this out without war, without fighting? Yes.
But we cannot solve it without fighting, because there is,
unless we fight, there will be a
now.
Russian occupation or on Ukrainian territory. There is no other solution, like for today, because Putin wants our territory. Putin wants Ukrainian people to be in his union or something. But this is not going to happen, because no, we've been going to be free from Russian for a long time.
So in your view, really, what Ukraine requires is like a stronger military presence, similar to Canada committing Air Force assets to Iraq and things like that?
Can you repeat that one more time, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to clarify. So in your view, what Ukraine really needs from its allies, even in North America, would be a military presence and greater actual combat assistance as opposed to diplomacy.
That's an interesting question. Yes. So it will help. It's been some minutes, but the answer is yes.
because we didn't have another other choice. Just to believe that it will help, because as I said, we can't fight for ourselves, and if there will be a war, we understand that Ukraine won't be the winner, unfortunately. Maybe if Russian people will understand that, if Russian people understand that the philosophy of Putin is not the right thing, and with this philosophy they cannot become a strong country and a good country. So maybe if they will say no to his politic, we will win. But
And according to what Dasha said, to say sincerely, no one of European countries are not interested in Ukrainians' victory. No one really. Since well, I don't think that I should explain this point because everybody guess what I'm talking about. Well, who needs a more stronger country having like a neighbor, like a neighbor? Well, it's clear for us, and that's the sad point of our war.
There is a problem of Russian people who probably and basically don't realize that they are, most of them, I'm not talking about the whole nationality, most of them are zombies. So they just know their point of view, the point of view that their government want them to know. And they are not trying to understand what do we mean, what do we want, and what is our point of view.
Because of the Soviet Union, they still cannot understand that Ukraine is a different country. They still believe that we are the same nation and that we have the same history and that we have the same language. They still cannot understand that Ukraine is Ukraine. That Ukraine is a country, real country.
They even don't do anything to try to clarify some points. Well, for example, they don't look any news of Ukraine. They're just looking Russian TV, and that's all for them. They are not reading any newspapers or something like that. They are just because their imagination is totally occupied by Russian government opinion.
I just would like to add something. The difference between Russia and Ukraine. In Ukraine, we have democracy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
At least we are going to the highest point of democracy we're trying to.
So in Ukraine, you have freedom of speech. Is that correct?
Yes.
So again, with that, you have the power, ladies. Okay, you have the power, and you can change the world. Okay, you can.
Yeah, thank you.
Because you're the new generation, and I hope everything with education, you will be able to change this without using physical, support. We can just do it. Use your brain.
Yeah, thank you a lot.
So we had another question here from Del Valle. I was just curious of the disaster situation that's still ongoing there and the complete and utter standoff you have against Russia. We're curious of how that affects school, specifically your plans for college.
Oh, well. Last year, when the whole Maidan thing was going on, it affected our school a lot because our school is located in the city center, and you can't get to it unless you go through those hot spots where everything was going on. So our school was closed for a long time, and we were deported from school to home with teachers, and we got the cabs, and metro was closed a lot, and still till nowadays our metro sometimes close several stations. But for now, everything is quite
here
calm.
in the central Ukraine and also in the western Ukraine, but
not
in the east. So as I said, like, this is a really strange situation because we keep on living and they keep on fighting. So, and we still every day we're watching the news and we find out about some more death, and also every day, actually, personally, I go to school, read books, listen to music, and all that stuff. So, like, there is nothing bad. Not because I don't care. I do care, but just because I don't know. I really don't know what to do and how can I help my country. Of course, I can spend some money for help, for charity, but yeah, and I'm doing it. But I don't know what else I can do.
Well, the one thing we can do is just to study hard, to become really successful, I don't know, scientists and etc. And to protect our country, not having weapons in our hands, and we just can replace. We can replace Ukraine on the highest level, and to change the imagination of other countries about our nation, about our. We really have got really clear people, clever, intelligent people, and clever people, and. But that's people who are really clever. They move to other countries and they are working for them, but not for Ukraine. And we have to fight this problem once again.
I'm curious from Sizzler High School here. I know that in some ways Russia has restricted the flow of energy, like energy import and natural gas.
Ooh.
It's
cold a little bit here.
Yeah, I was going to ask you now, has that affected, I know it must have affected eastern Ukraine quite a lot. Has it affected even into central Ukraine and throughout the whole country? How is that affecting your daily life?
We didn't have water for a long time in some regions. We didn't have hot water.
No.
We didn't have hot water for a couple of months, like for 4 months. And we probably will not be heated during winter. So we should save some money to, I don't know.
Yeah, and we should spare our electricity and gas and all that stuff. And my parents are always talking to me, telling me that for example, please turn off the light or turn off the water or something like that. So we just spare it.
And we're going to have longer winter holidays than we usually do.
So
it's like
there
because the heating season is gonna be cut, and it's gonna be a little bit colder than usual.
Yeah, there are some gossips that we will have holidays for 2 months in winter to spare. Yeah, but we're not know about that. We do not know. Yeah, and if you don't have any questions, no more questions for us. So we have there are some other students who want to talk to you. Thank you for attention.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Anna. She's Arina, and she's Anna too. Nice to meet you.
Yes, and we are students not from the 3rd course, the 11th grade. We study in the 10th
grade.
Yeah, 10th form. Yes.
We would talk about our situation in country, but not from political side, but from the side of normal viewer, like we just imagine it.
Because politically it's very complicated, and especially now we can't understand. How it is important for us, and just for every sphere in our life. And we'd like to tell you about the influence of the horrible situation.
Okay. Our nation is very peace-loving, and unfortunately, we faced with war. So when people came to Euromaidan just 1 year ago, People wanted to see the changes in direction for the better. But no one knew that after 5 months, when we toppled our government, we would have a war, a real war that changed everything, changed every person in our country. It changed our thoughts, our dreams, our hopes.
Goals for life.
Because instead of great cities, we have ash, ruins, abandoned, houses and broken lives. Because thousands of young soldiers return from war with injured legs and hands, or with injured psychology and
Yeah. So I think this situation changed all people in our country. It is hard to imagine who we were and who we are right now. All students of our school, and they think of other schools of our country, have new thoughts about the whole situation. For example, it's now very popular to draw the on the fences, yes, colors of our national flag and something like that. And now it's really cool that we understand that we want to be independent, that it's our goal for our country, for our life, and all that our goals, our personal goals really changed.
Yes, and we start to maintain our liberty and independence, and I think we will fight to the end.
Yes, and the best feature that characterizes Ukrainian people is that we believe in our dreams, in our life, in our liberty, and that we hold on to. And I think that really helps in different spheres, in psychological, in political, and economical sphere, because sometimes we have just dreams, and we have our dream. It's democracy. That's why people die, fight for our freedom, and fought a couple of months ago. That's why we should respect our traditions, our ancestors, mothers and fathers, and just we have to say them thank you for everything that they made for us.
So if you want to ask some questions about what we think, you're welcome.
Yes, we had another question here from Del Valle. First, I'm just very glad to hear that you're still working so hard to fight at a time when your liberty and identity, as you said, are in complete danger on a day-to-day basis. So it's very refreshing to hear that you're fighting for those things every day. You're still standing. But we're curious of how that's affected your mindset when it comes to the European Union, the United States, and obviously your views on Russia have grown more negative. But more curious on how your views on the European Union and the United States have changed as they haven't directly stepped in to aid you in your conflict.
We think that the best choice is European Union because it's the ideal democracy countries that have perfect economical sphere. I mean that are real, that is real advanced. That the industry is on high level, and it's really great, especially now because the world changes and economical sphere, business sphere, and all the stuff are very important for countries for their development.
Yes, I have the same thoughts. European Union is the best. European Union is the best decision for our country because if we need to choose from Russia and between Russia and Europe, we would like to be with Europe because it's the highest level of democracy, of
different spheres of life. So it's our choice. We just want to be independent from other countries.
And according to our history, I mean Ukrainian history, Russia played not the best part of our history. It was like, I don't know, it was hard for us, for all Ukrainian people in all times, to live with them and to live sometimes in the same country like USSR or etc. The point that we just even have different mentalities, different characters and features. Ukrainian people are totally different, and Russia doesn't respect us. And the point is that Ukraine has always dreamed about European future, democracy, even a couple centuries ago. So that's why we want our dream come true, at least nowadays, because sometimes we should fight, and we don't know even now when peace will come.
If you have other questions, we're ready to talk about it.
How do you help the Ukrainian army or Ukrainian people to solve this problem?
You know, there are a lot of agencies that collect money and send and buy a lot of products that helps our soldiers survive. For example, now it's quite cold in our country, and they need special clothes and weapons to fight, because in Russia they have really good. I mean, like in this period, they are like. They have a really good weapon, the new one, and in our country we have everything from USSR almost, and it's extremely hard to find money in our country because every day it's too expensive to buy everything new. For one person, it can be just 1,000 at least, and it's just one person, you know, and. In one group, I mean, like with soldiers, there can be 10 or 15 people, and we can't imagine how many people there are on the east. And it's just horrible. A lot of people even sell their flats in order to buy different equipment for soldiers, to buy just food, just like potato, something like. I mean, ordinary, not something very.
Yes, and all the weapon and equipment for our Ukrainian people on the east go from people, not from government. We find money not from government because we don't have enough of it. And now it's hard to buy something like clothes, for example. And when people have problems because of war, we try to collect some money together. For example, yes, for example, 1 week ago, we collected some money for a person who was injured on the war on the east of Ukraine, and now he is in USA, in Florida, I guess. Yes, so he will have he will be in a normal state of his body because he's injured right now.
But what is pain that not always money come to soldiers. There are a lot of thieves that just earn money in this situation. So we should solve this problem with thieves, because a lot of people give their last money and we just lose them.
Do you have another question?
Do you guys have hope that it'll get better?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
I had another question here from Del Valle. I was curious, of course, in this whole situation, Russia has been seen as the direct antagonizers. But I'm aware that there are some pro-Russian Ukrainians. I'm curious of how they're perceived in the country and how common, pro-Russian Ukrainians are.
Yes, I think there are a lot of Ukrainian people in Russia right now because we were a big country some years ago. But I think they, of course, they have their thoughts, and we can't say that all of them are normal people. They want to peace in our country, but I think that they are still Ukrainian people, and they hope that we will be independent from Russia, and maybe they will come to Ukraine if we have a higher level of education, economical sphere, something like that. So we hope that they that support us.
And sometimes people just don't have another choice than just going to Russia. I mean, they just don't know where they can go. For example, sometimes they have some relatives in Russia whom they can go and stay for a couple of months, at least. We all know that there are a lot of people who go from Donetsk or other parts of eastern Ukraine to Kiev and other parts. But we all know that we don't have enough place for them to live. Sometimes they don't have enough. They don't have enough money to live in different cities. For example, in the capital of Ukraine, because here in Kiev, the lifestyle is more expensive than in their home.
Yeah, and now it's sad that some Ukrainians come back from Russia to Ukraine, and that's great because we would like to rebuild our country and make it better with all of our Ukrainian people. And we are really happy of that. So we try just to respect other people. We don't have bad opinion about other nationalities or about Russia, Russian people. We just want to have peace in the whole world, and that's our opinion.
Yes, and nowadays almost 20 people from Donetsk or another parts of eastern Ukraine study here in our lyceum, and we care about them. We teach them and study. They try to speak Ukrainian language and learn it because, yes, a couple of weeks ago they even couldn't or just didn't know how because they were used to speaking Russian and just using it in their everyday life, and that's how they try to live now and to understand that life changes, but unluckily not in the best way. Do you have more questions?
Do you have any reliable organization that we can send the money from Canada to Ukraine, to Kiev, for example, or in your school maybe you have some that you can provide us with address that we can send the money to support our people?
I'm not sure about our school, but I suppose that there are a lot of organizations.
I know just recently Sviatoslav Vakarchuk, he organized a nice concert in Kiev Academia. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Right. Yes.
Who organized, and he got like over 40,000.
Well, yes, he is just great. He like the symbol of arts. I mean, like Ukrainian people. He supports us in everything, in what we do, in different spheres, and that's what we now want and need because support and dream that all we have now.
Yes, and that's great. A lot of Ukrainian sports, famous people or artists, singers support Ukraine because this situation showed us who are who. Some of our stars that went to Russia, and now they are Russian, but they are also Ukrainian, and they don't want to live in our country don't want to support because they are maybe scared of Russian government. But such people as Vakarchuk and others are really great people because they help us, they support, they show that they are also Ukrainians, that they maybe suffer from the war. And it's great that we are one big independent country with all Ukrainian people there.
Yes. And the best thing, I mean, like that everyone starts understand how Ukrainian traditions are important in our sphere, in our everyday life, and they try to respect them all. Sometimes people try to speak even Ukrainian language. I mean, even if it's not their native language, their mother tongue. So that's how people show their respect. Sometimes people don't have enough money to support soldiers, but at least by their thoughts, mind, and prayers, they do something. That's how I live now.
I have a question from Sisler. How do you think the war will end?
Nobody knows exactly. We all hope that it will end soon.
Only time will tell.
Yes.
We don't know, but we hope for the best, for the best in our country and of course in Russia, not just for us. We want peace in their country. We want to be two independent but different countries. So we hope that the war will end soon and it will end in positive light. So we just hope and pray every day.
Yes, we want to see changes in direction for the better.
Yes, that's how we see the situation.
Yes, I think that everyone sees this like this.
Thank you for your question.
Do you
Of
have more?
course, if you have, yeah, you can ask.
So,
you again, and we wish you all the best, and I hope you're gonna be strong. And again, I would like to say in Ukrainian, Slava Ukraini.
Thank you so much. That's really means for us a lot because it's hard to understand that other people don't respect, for example, our nationality or something like that. But when you say such things as this brings new good emotions or force for us to live for the tomorrow. Thank you so much.
yes, thank you for your support.
Yes.
Okay, did you have any more students?
No, we
No,
don't
we
have
don't
other
have
students.
I would like to make
And
one comment
the last one.
regarding Ukrainian history. People who don't know, just from according to Ukrainian history, Ukraine never ever invaded any country, and Ukraine is just trying to support their own people, but not to invade any country. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Absolutely right.
I had another comment, I guess. Isn't it also true that Russia got its name from Kiev?
Kiev and Rus, yes.
Yes, that's great that people from different countries understand that Ukrainian nationality was born.
Long before Russia was born.
Yes, was born first, but Kievska Rus, Kiev Rus, yes, was our country because Kiev it's Ukraine, and yes, we are older than Russian, and Russia, the name of Russia, were because of our name of our country, Kiev Rus. Like
Russia should be called Moscovia, not Russia.
Yes,
So
so they just can't even imagine their own name of their country, so they just take ours.
Yes. But
But
unfortunately,
couldn't you make a case that Russia got its culture and its religion and everything from Kiev?
Yes, we've got the Christianity from 988. Kiev got Christianity with Volodymyr Veliki. Yes.
Yes, yes. It's our yes. It was our like government in yes, like king in the Middle Ages, and he was first in our country. And the religion was born in our country, not in Russia, but we respect them. They just maybe use our name or something like that, but they are other people, other nationality, and we just need to respect them, and that's okay. But some Russians don't respect our nationality, and that's really big for us.
they sometimes think that Russian people are more clever and are better in always better in all spheres of their life. They think that they have another history. I mean, like that Vladimir Putin one day collected all politicians and created his own history, his own Russian history, and that's why Russians think that we don't know history, that they were the first one, that they brought the religion to us, and we're the
Yes, but
people who live in countryside.
but we know who we are, and we will tell our children soon. And yes, and that's great that we want to know our history, and no political people will change our thoughts.
Well, we'd like to thank you for coming today. And I know it's coming up on the hour, so probably we're going to have to close this one. I'd like to invite everyone to go on Monday, October the 20th. We're having Food for Thought, and we're going to have two different schools in Ukrainian. One, this school and a school from Central Ukraine are going to be presenting some dishes about lunch. So we'd like to invite you, Andrew, to join us in that endeavor too, and you get to see a little bit of people eating from all over the world. I think we'll have about 20 schools.
Certainly. Oh, thank you
so much.
We'll be tracking that for sure.
So we'll say goodbye and good luck.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye. Welcome.